Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, so welcome devotees for today's Bhakti Shastri class. So we are now going to today begin third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Just remaining few concluding verses from second chapter. So as we know that second chapter of Bhagavad Gita is also called as Contents of Gita Summarized. So Srila Prabhupada translates this like in other acharyas have translated it as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga, that is a other acharya's title which is given. But Srila Prabhupada has given here contents of Gita summarized. So what is the reason that the chapter is called as contents of Gita summarized? So if you see, there is a preview of almost entire Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter. There is a little bit speaking of bhakti in second chapter. There is speaking of there is a talk about nishkam karma yoga. There is a talk about karma kand. There is a talk about jnana yoga. So there is a talk about buddhi yoga. So if you see, there is a entire preview which is given of, so almost every chapter of Bhagavad Gita, little information is given in second chapter. That's why contents of Gita summarized. So if you speak about bhakti, where is bhakti spoken in the second chapter? Bhakti comes when the person comes. So in one of the shlokas yesterday, last time we were discussing, Krishna explains mat paraha. Fix your consciousness on me. So there bhakti begins. Mat paraha. As soon as the person has been introduced. Then in the last shloka today, 2.72, there will be explanation about what is a destination at the end of the death. What should be consciousness of a person at the time of death. So there also like 8 chapter ka preview is coming, 6 chapter preview is coming. So many different chapters previews are going to come in this. So which is the biggest chapter in Bhagavad Gita? So quiz time for all of you. Which is the biggest chapter in Bhagavad
Second
Gita?
chapter.
Uh, uh,
18th chapter,
okay, 18 chapter. How many shlokas?
78.
So this is second biggest chapter in Bhagavad Gita. 18 chapter is the conclusion, and 18 this this is the second biggest chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And generally, a big chapter means a chapter which has more than 40 shlokas. That is considered to be a big chapter. So remaining many of the chapters have big. The third one is also a little bigger. It has around. So today, so in the last class, okay, just quick recap of the last session. So I remember it's a long ago, and in between Nityanand Tradashi has come, many festivals have come, Kirtan Melas have come. So surely those who have made notes, they will be able to recollect. Otherwise, memory wise, Kali Yuga memory is very difficult to remember what we discussed in the last class. Okay,
Mhm.
just quick recap. You can speak or chat or something. You can quickly unmute and share.
Roji gave example of that search engine, that the search engine will show the result which we will type the most. Similarly, our mind will show that type of result. So that's why what we have to do, we have to consciously type spirituality related things related to Lord, related to this, and automatically then our mind will be like that. So
Okay,
that
so
was a
this
very
was
striking and
corresponding
good
to which
example.
shloka? Which shloka this spoke about?
Roji, I'm not remembering the shloka.
Okay, fine. Any other
Yeah,
recollections?
Prabhuji. So last class we discussed about the fall down sutras. There was 8 stages.
Fall down sutra.
Yeah.
Step, project. We do sutra is generally to sutras means this is like a sutra means something to be done. Steps are okay. Yes, bro. So what are the 8 steps of fall down?
Yeah. So from contemplation, then attachment, then lust, then anger, then delusion, then bewilderment of memory, then loss of intelligence, and finally fall down.
Yeah. So that the two shlokas. So our Kaushik Pro's example also was discussed in this regard only. That contemplation, dhyayato. Dhyayato develops attachment. Dhyayato develops attack contemplation. So basically, everything is about contemplation. Like sometimes in the earlier times, there was a arranged marriage. Arranged marriages, it is not that suddenly somebody gets married and he will develop deep attachment for wife and husband. It's not so easy. So you are like two new people coming together. But then contemplation, contemplation happens, thinking happens, service happens, then attachment develops naturally. So this is a procedure for, like I remember once upon a time, I was asking our Rupa Goswami Prabhu. Rupa Goswami Prabhu is our DT in charge. He is like a senior most devotee in our temple. I was just, Prabhu is very very grave generally and very strict. थोड़ा strict मतलब फन एकदम चाइल्ड की तरह भी रहते हैं, enthusiastic भी रहता है, लेकिन कभी कभी strict भी रहते हैं एकदम. तो मैंने प्रभु जी से पूछा, प्रभु जी क्या करें, डीटीज के प्रति थोड़ा अटैचमेंट नहीं आ रहा है. इतना मतलब आपको कितना अट्रैक्शन, आप एक सालों एक सेवा कर रहे हो, एक सेवा कर रहे हो इतने सालों से. माय गॉड, लगातार कितने साल हो गए, अभी तक एक ही सेवा चल रहा है. उतने ही उत्साह से आप मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम में दिखते हो, उतने ही उत्साह से अल्टर में डेली पहुंच जाते हो, डेटी वर्शिप करते हो. बोल ऐसा मैकेनिकल नहीं बनता आपको कि एक एक रूटीन चीज़ है, वही फेस्टिवल, वही नित्यानंद चतुर्दशी, वही जन्माष्टमी, वही है. हमको एक चीज़ बार 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 करती तो थोड़ा ये हो जाता है. बट आपको कैसे, प्रोजी ज़्यादा कुछ आंसर नहीं कर रहे थे, शांत बैठे थे. फिर मैंने कहा प्रोजी, अटैचमेंट कैसे डेवलप करना, अट्रैक्शन कैसे करना डेवलप डेटीज के प्रति. है सुंदर है पर इतना नहीं होता हमें अट्रैक्शन. प्रोजी जस्ट आस्क वन वर्ड, सेवा किया है क्या कुछ डेटीज का. मैं बोला नहीं प्रोजी, अट्रैक्शन सेवा कैसे करूँ, अट्रैक्शन नहीं आ रहा है, सेवा किया है क्या कुछ. बोला नहीं सेवा कब तब करूंगा जब अट्रैक्शन आएगा. बोले सेवा करो सब कुछ आएगा. So he said, when you serve, that is the attraction, attachment, and everything is outcome of seva. Because like a mother serves a child, and naturally, mother also develop attraction and attachment. Child also develops. So whomever you serve, hmm, this is the way. Like, can you just okay? I'm telling you one example from a positive perspective now. If you see Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, anyone knows in which year Srila Prabhupada started ISKCON?
1966.
Date also? No, no. So it's around I think 22nd July or something, like some July 1966. This con was started. And 1967, Prabhupada's health went very bad. Prabhupada's health was a little bad. And Prabhupada did not thought about it. And he had to go to India just after 1 year for his health recuperation. And within 1 year, all the people of the world developed so much attachment for Prabhupada. How is it possible? इतना अटैचमेंट कैसे कर लिया. हिप्पीज लोग जिनको अपने माता पिता के प्रति अटैचमेंट नहीं है, किसी के प्रति अटैचमेंट नहीं है, एक बूढ़े व्यक्ति के प्रति इतना अटैचमेंट. आपने वो पास्ट टाइम सुना होगा ना, जानकी माता जी छीन लेती है पासपोर्ट, वीजा, टिकट छीन लेती है प्रभुपद से. तो इतना प्रभुपाद को रो रहे हैं वो लोग कि हम नहीं जाने देंगे. ऐसे हिप्पीज लोग जो किसी के लिए नहीं रोए, अपने माता पिता के लिए नहीं रोए, किसी के लिए नहीं रोए, प्रभुपाद के लिए इतना रो रहे हैं जस्ट विद इन 1 ईयर. हम कभी कभी मेंटरिंग करते हैं, हम बच्चों के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करते हैं, लेकिन इतना अटैचमेंट हमें किसी से नहीं होता डेवलप. मतलब किसी से भी नहीं होता इतना अटैचमेंट डेवलप कि हम इतना रोने लग जाएंगे 1 साल के अंदर, वो भी फॉरेनर्स. सो ऐसा इतना गहरा अटैचमेंट कैसे डेवलप हुआ. तो उसका आंसर क्या है पता है. उसका आंसर है सेल्फलेसनेस. जब रिलेशनशिप में सेल्फलेसनेस रहती है, जब रिलेशनशिप इज सेल्फलेस, देन अटैचमेंट बिकम्स स्ट्रॉन्गर. So when you really genuinely want to serve in a selfless manner to any person, naturally the strong bonding will happen. Because if you are selfish, when we are selfish, other people sense it, whether you know or no, they will understand it. When you are little bit selfish motives also there, people sense it. But when you are serving selflessly any person, naturally the strong attraction will develop. So, okay, any other point, Prabhu, from last discussion?
Guruji, regulative principles of freedom.
Okay, so what was the discussion there?
So sometimes if you want to control the senses and if you want to get the yoga highest perfection of life, the regulative principles of freedom is must be there. And these regulative principles of freedom are not leading to some bondage, but it is getting rid of the birth, old age, and death.
Yeah, so we know regulator. Regulator is important. So the first step is
Mhm.
regulation. Regulation means we have gas regulator, everything regulator, acidity regulator, body regulator, temperature regulator. Regulator means It's required also. So there is a regulative principle of freedom. Okay, thank you. Any other discussion?
We also saw that disturbance is due to want of goal. Means some people don't have goals, so they are disturbed in mind.
Yeah, I gave you some example also. Whose example? Like we see current Prime Minister of India also, although it's a political example, but we don't find he'll be busy with Instagram, he'll playing games, or he's saying PUBG, nothing, or he'll not be too much because the goal is so gone into the mind. So when a goal enters the mind, purpose enters the mind, person forgets other thing, distractions. Okay. Okay. Any other last 2 points, Prabhu? Then we'll start for today. Just two more points from other devotees. Those are not.
So you was mentioning that that sadhaka means there will be always the sensation about the mind and intelligence. So we have to more focus on mind as well as intelligence also. It's not only on intelligence.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Correct.
Because also you told about that solution for this avoiding these fall downs is Krishna consciousness only. So you told that the example of Buddhakesh Prabhu and Anand Rindam Prabhu. So
Yeah.
they have realized that kicks of Maya and then they increase their rounds of chanting.
Yeah, yeah. So all fall down is better. All fall down is good if it brings us closer to Krishna. So we should thank our fall downs. We should thank our anarthas. So it is said all anarthas are obstacles of all obstacles in Krishna consciousness are servants of Krishna. So we should thank all obstacles, whatever obstacles come in our life, because they made us closer to Krishna. So all obstacles are servants of Krishna, if you take it in the right sense. So yesterday, last time we completed till 2.69, na bro. 2.70 we read completely or we did not read? Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, we do till 68. 2.69 we read, but we did not explain that point.
Okay, fine. Okay, we'll quickly read the 2.69 also we read, as such we read.
We read but didn't explain, Prabhuji. You said that it is long, so we'll
Okay.
discuss it next time.
2.69. We'll quickly read this. 2.69. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागृति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुने. So या निशा 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 मतलब रात. निशा is night. Sarvabhutanam, of all living entities. Jagruti Samyami. Samyami means one who is a self-controlled person is called as Samyami. Samyami. Yasyam Jagruti Bhutani. Bhutani means all living beings. And Ya Saha Sa Nisha. Nisha means again night. Pashyatah Mune. Please read, Prabhu.
Translation: what is night for all beings is a time for awakening for the self-control. And the time for awakening for all beings is the night for the introspective stage. Purport. There are two classes of intelligent men. One is intelligent in material activities for sense gratification, and the other is introspective and awake to the cultivation of self-realization. Activities of the introspective sage or thoughtful man are night for persons materially absorbed. Materialistic persons remains asleep in such a night due to their ignorance of self-realization. The introspective sage remains alert in the night of the materialistic man. The sage feels transcendental pleasure in the gradual advancement of spiritual culture, whereas the man in materialistic activities, being asleep to self-realization, dreams of varieties of sense pleasure, feeling sometimes happy and sometimes distressed in his sleeping condition. The introspective man is always indifferent to materialistic happiness and distress. He goes on with his self-realization activities undisturbed by material reactions.
So yeah. So it is said this is a metaphor which is being used here. The metaphor which is used is a day and night comparison is a metaphor. So what is night for all beings is the time for awakening of self-control. And the time of awakening for all beings is the night for introspective sages. So we know there are two kinds of intelligence. One intelligence is a sthita pragya intelligence, and one intelligence is a materialistic intelligence. So this metaphor actually explains because this is a discussion on sthita pragya section. So metaphor day and night are compared with intelligence. So day and night. So sthita pragya's intelligence and materialistic intelligence. Sthita pragya's intelligence is fixed on the soul, and that makes him experience the bliss. That is mean he's awake. He's awake. So this is a night for materialistic people who cannot see the things pursued by intelligence fixed on soul. So materialistic people, their intelligence never goes on soul, and Sita Pragya's intelligence goes on soul. So he's awake. And materialistic person's intelligence goes on sense objects and sense gratification. And that's why he sometimes experiences happiness, lamentation, bewilderment. But Sita Pragya's intelligence never goes on sense gratification. That's why he's like a knight. That is a knight for him. So this metaphor is like a comparison which is done. And this shloka is explaining about two kinds of intelligence. What is a Sthita Pragya's intelligence and what is materialistic person's intelligence. So Sthita Pragya's intelligence is always innovating various plans of about advancement in Krishna consciousness. He thinks about, okay, what all different activities I can do that will bring me closer to Krishna consciousness. And materialistic person's intelligence is always absorbed in his plans about expansions of sense gratification. So ya nisha sarvabhutanam. That is a so now Krishna is concluding that so in essence, what is the essence of what all things I told you till now? That a sthita pragya is unagitated by desires. So it is not that desires will never come. We cannot become desireless. We are all living entities. We are jiva, and it's naturally the natural function is to desire. Living beings means only a living person can desire. So desires will always keep on coming. But materialistic person easily gets disturbed by desires, but a sthita pragya person is not agitated by desires. So desires will come, the mind will trouble, but is unagitated. And to explain this example, in the 70th shloka, Krishna is giving example about ocean. Like an ocean is there, apuryamanam achala pratishtam. The ocean is always very cool and calm. Cool and calm means is always very still. Although so many rivers enter into it, although rivers rains may come, although so many things will happen, no matter how much water is taken away from it, it remains full. So similarly, Sthita Pragya is a person who is peaceful and undisturbed by the flows of desires. He can observe desires coming in his life. He can observe, oh, materialistic desires are coming, oh, passion is affecting. So he can see the modes acting on him, but he does not act on that. So that is a Sthita Pragya. How many of you feel that sometimes you can also observe in your life that modes are acting on you? Means you are easily able to distinguish, oh, this is I think mode of passion has increased too much, or more suddenly ignorance has increased too much. Means before even it acts, we are able to see ignorance is troubling me. So that means what? We are able to see, we are able to clearly see na कि modes are acting. Sometimes we only see the consequence. अरे प्रभु, पावर नैप लेने गया था, पावरफुल नैप बन गया. पावर नैप की जगह पावरफुल नैप हो गया, 10 मिनट घंटे में कन्वर्ट हो गए. दैट इज अ आउटकम. बट मेनी टाइम्स वी आर एबल टू ऑब्जर्व, मेनी टाइम्स वी आर एबल टू ऑब्जर्व ऑल्सो. ओके, लग रहा है तमोगुण बढ़ रहा है, रजोगुण आ रहा है, गुडनेस फील हो रहा है. सो दैट मीन्स this some symptoms of the pragyas are coming. He can observe that desires are coming going, but he is not disturbed. So very beautiful shloka this is. Nice meter is also there, beautiful tune. अपूर्यमाणामचलप्रतिष्ठम् समुद्रमापप्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामयं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी. So certain Sanskrit words are very good here. Certain Sanskrit word. Achala. Achala means अनशेकन, अचल है वो. Samudram means like ocean. Apa means water. So water enters into ocean. Pravishanti yadvat. Apuryamanam. So here certain words are very good. आपूर्यमाणम. आपूर्यमाणम जो हमेशा पूरे उसको पूरा पूरा मतलब फिल ना, हम बोलते हैं मेरा पेट पूरा भर गया या पूरे सफिशिएंट. सो आपूर्यमाणम, इट इज ऑलवेज फिल्ड. अचल प्रतिष्ठम, अचल बनना है हमें, अचल स्टडी बनना है. समुद्रमापम प्रविशन्ति यद्वत्. So he said, please read the translation. Very beautiful shloka for dealing with desires or materialistic desires when they trouble. How we should handle it. Yes, Prabhu.
Translation: a person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is elevated still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires.
Okay, so here it is said, the desires are going to come. Many desires will come. Suddenly, the desire for greed will increase. Suddenly, anger will increase. So here it is. Don't you feel something opposite is being told? यहाँ पे बोला है जो डिजायर्स को पूरा करता है वो पीस में नहीं रहता. जो डिजायर को पूरा मतलब जो डिजायर्स के प्रति ध्यान नहीं देता वो पीसफुल रहता है. लेकिन हमारा एक्सपीरियंस तो उल्टा है. सपोज मेरा काम वासना बहुत बढ़ रहा है तो मन में तो तूफान मचता है, तूफान, ऐसा काम का तूफान, कामाग्नि तूफान मचता है. लेकिन यहाँ बोला गया है कि अगर आप उसको हमें उल्टा फील होता है कभी, अरे उसको सेटिस्फाई कर दोगे तो मन शांत हो जाता है. लेकिन यहाँ पे भगवान कह रहे हैं उल्टा, अगर उसको आप सेटिस्फाई करोगे तो आप पीस में नहीं रहोगे. अगर आप उसको सेटिस्फाई नहीं करोगे, डिजायर्स को, मटेरियलिस्टिक डिजायर्स को, और देखोगे कि आ रहे थोड़ी देर में चले जाएंगे, तो ही सेड सच अ पर्सन विल बी एट पीस. ऐसा कैसे पॉसिबल है? तो एकदम अपोजिट लग रहा है. परपट. यस ब्रो, प्लीज रीड.
Although the vast ocean is always filled with water, it is always, especially during the rainy season, being filled with much more water, but the ocean remains the same, steady. It is not agitated, nor does it cross beyond the limit of its brink. That is also true of a person fixed in Krishna consciousness. As long as one has the material body, the demands of the body for sense gratification will continue. The devotee, however, is not disturbed by such desires because of his fullness. A Krishna consciousness man is not in need of anything because the Lord fulfilled all his material necessities. Therefore, he is like the ocean, always full in himself. Desire may come to him like the waters of the rivers that flow into ocean, but he is steady in his activities, and he is not even slightly disturbed by desires for sense gratification. That is the proof of a Krishna consciousness man, one who has lost all inclinations for material sense gratification, although the desires are present. Because he remains satisfied in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, he can remain steady like the ocean and therefore enjoy full peace. Others, however, who want to fulfill desires even up to the limit of liberation, what to speak of material success, never attain peace. The fruity workers, the salvationists, and also the yogis who are after mystic power are all unhappy because of unfulfilled desires. But the person in Krishna consciousness is happy in the service of the Lord, and he has no desires to be fulfilled. In fact, he does not even desire liberation from so called material bondage. The devotees of Krishna have no material desires and therefore they are in perfect peace.
So can anyone remember any shloka regarding this? That
भुक्ति मुक्ति सिद्धि कामी सकल शांत कृष्ण भक्त निष्काम अतएव शांत.
Kami Sakalya Shant, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam, Ataiva Shanta. So if you see, when a person has desires for bhukti, mukti, siddhi, and the lusty desires kami, then the desire for selfish enjoyment, then is always in a unpeaceful condition. But because the devotees of Krishna don't have any material desires, so they have spiritual desires, that we have a lot of spiritual desires to serve and expand, but they don't have any material desires. And that's why devotees are in perfect peace. So here certain things are very vital which are being spoken here. So if you see, he's telling that we have to ocean is always filled with water. And that's why during rainy, especially in rainy season, it is completely full with water. So no matter so many rivers and to enter into it, it does not have any much disturbance. So like suppose just consider an example. You're traveling in a train now, and when you travel in the train, how many of you sometimes feel कि और ट्रेन में बांटते हैं ना, केक बांटते हैं, क्रीम बिस्किट्स बांटते हैं, और अलग अलग क्या, और कटलेट, वड़ा पाव, हल्का सा मन लगता है, ठीक है, हल्का सा, एकदम हल्का सा, ज्यादा किसी को ज्यादा भी लग सकता है, हल्का सा लगता है, अरे क्या खा रहा है, क्या खा रहा है, ठीक है वो खा रहा है, कुरकुरे खा रहा है, ये खा रहा है, पेप्सी पी रहा है, हल्का सा अगर हमारा प्रीवियस टेस्ट रहा है अगर, तो हमको भी लगता है मैं नहीं खा रहा हूँ, ठीक है मैं नहीं खा रहा हूँ चॉकलेट, मैं नहीं खा रहा हूँ ये, लेकिन तो भी इतना डिस्टर्ब नहीं होता, क्यों? हमको पता है यार, छोड़ो यार, क्या वो थर्ड थर्ड क्लास क्वालिटी का है वो, थर्ड क्लास। जो सेम चीज पहले बहुत आनंद से खाते थे हम, अभी अचानक क्या हो गया, वो चीज सामने भी आती है, मुझे बताओ ऐसा अचानक क्या हो गया है जीवन में कि अगर वो, चलो वेजिटेरियन ही खा रहा है, हाँ, कांदा लहसुन के बिना का प्रोडक्ट खा रहा है, चलो ऐसा क्या हो गया है, जो चीज पहले वड़ा पाव खाते थे, पहले बहुत अट्रैक्शन था वड़ा पाव का, लेकिन अभी मटेरियलिस्टिक पर्सन जो है वड़ा पाव ला रहा है, तो हम थोड़ा सा अट्रैक्शन होकर छोड़ देते हैं उसको, क्या रीजन है ऐसा बताओ?
तो जर्नी प्रसाद हम लोग
ओके, जर्नी प्रसादम,
वो भी
ओके, और
बढ़िया बढ़िया प्रसाद हम ला के देते हैं।
ओके, और कुछ?
Higher taste for desire
High
for higher taste.
ओके, डिजायर्स फॉर हायर टेस्ट आ गया है, ओके, जर्नी प्रसाद का, निशांक ग्रुप बोल रहे हैं, और कुछ क्या रीजन है?
higher
क्योंकि नॉलेज
purpose
इज
is
देयर,
there to
हाँ, नॉलेज, क्या नॉलेज आ गया हमको?
वी हैव गॉट नॉलेज दैट आई विल अगेन put into the sinful reactions and cycle of birth
अरे
and death
सबसे
if I
पहली बात देखो, अबे ये ऑफर्ड नहीं है, ये ऑफर्ड नहीं है, छोड़ो। एक, आप डिवोटी को कितना भी अच्छा आइटम सामने लाओ, किसी को कितना भी अट्रैक्शन हो जाए, बस एक वर्ड बोल दो उसको, ये ऑफर्ड नहीं है, जा फिर छोड़ दे, कितना रसगुल्ला भी आ जाए, रसमलाई भी आ जाए, आइसक्रीम भी आ जाए, जैसे ही एक वर्ड आता है ना, ऑफर्ड नहीं है, तो व्यक्ति गया, तो उसको देखता ही नहीं, थू। तो दैट इज अ पावर, सोचो, एक वर्ड इज एबल टू मेक सच अ बिग डिफरेंस। प्रभु ऑफर्ड है क्या? ऑफर्ड नहीं है। डिवोटी किसने बनाया? डिवोटी ने बनाया क्या? नहीं, इधर का छोड़ दो, खत्म। तो उसी नॉलेज में क्या पावर है ना, डिजायर्स आते हैं, मतलब एक छोटा, ये क्या आंसर है, मतलब क्या प्रभु?
He's still discrimination power na, to means what he was mentioning full पूरा mention करेंगे statement।
हाँ, ओके, इज एबल टू डिस्क्रिमिनेट, तो दिस इज अ रियली अमेजिंग थिंग, राइट? डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, सो ज्ञान। तो अभी हम नेक्स्ट चैप्टर में जो अभी धीमे धीमे थीम में एंटर कर रहे हैं, तो पूरे सेकंड चैप्टर में अगर आप देखेंगे, सेकंड चैप्टर में तो कृष्णा अलग अलग टॉपिक से बोल रहे हैं। पहले आत्मज्ञान दिया, सांख्य योग बताया, फिर कर्मकांड बताया, कर्मकांड के बाद में बोला कि निष्काम कर्म करो, फिर कंपैरिजन मारा कर्मकांड वर्सेस निष्काम कर्म योग, और बाद में फिर से बताया कि बुद्धि योग कब प्रैक्टिस हो पाएगा, जब आपको स्थित प्रज्ञ रहोगे, स्थित प्रज्ञ के प्लेटफॉर्म पे रहोगे, सोल के नॉलेज के साथ में करोगे तो ये कर पाओगे। अभी अर्जुना को थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन फिर से होने वाला है, यार तुमने बहुत, बोलेंगे भगवान तुमने बहुत कुछ बोल दिया है, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है क्या करना है एग्जैक्टली, बताओ भाई, एक चीज बताया करो। पहले बोलते हो कि कर्मयोग, निष्काम, मतलब हाईएस्ट लेवल है ज्ञान योग, मतलब सोल के नॉलेज पैक करना, लेकिन सोल का अगर ज्यादा नॉलेज ले लिया, सोल का नॉलेज ज्यादा अगर ले लिया तो क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है? नेचुरली डिटैचमेंट आता है। अगर हमने सोचो सोल का, अगर आपको मैंने अगर आज सोल पे अच्छा क्लास दे दिया, देखना क्या प्रभु, अल्टीमेटली मरने ही वाले हैं, ये शरीर वरीर क्या है, टेम्पररी नश्वर है, ये सब क्या, 10-10 घंटा है, 15 घंटा आईटी कंपनी में जाते हो, जॉब करते हो, ये करते हो, मरना ही है 15, और वैसे भी मृत्यु अनिश्चित है। इतना सब कुछ पाने के बाद भी खाली हाथ आए थे, खाली हाथ जाना है दूसरे बॉडी में। इफ यू डिस्कस टू मच अबाउट सोल, देन नेचुरली व्हाट हैपेंस, अब आदमी को डिटैचमेंट आ जाता है। तो आप बोले कृष्णा, अर्जुन अर्जुन सोचने वाले हैं, भाई तुमने इतना सब कुछ सोल के बारे में बताया, वो मुझे नेचुरली डिटैचमेंट आ रहा है, और अभी बाद में बोलते हो तुम कर्मयोग करो। करूँ ही क्यों मैं कर्मयोग, जब सोली सब कुछ परफेक्ट नॉलेज है, देन व्हाई शुड एंगेज माई सेल्फ इन सो मच वर्क एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स? सो अर्जुन इज गोइंग टू गेट कंफ्यूज अगेन, कि और कभी बोले बीच में कर्मकांड भी घुसा दिया, चलो कर्मकांड मान गया कि मैं इतना अच्छा नहीं है, कर्मकांड मान गया, लेकिन अभी मुझे कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है कि कर्मयोग करूँ या ज्ञान योग करूँ, क्योंकि सो दिस इज द दिस इज द कंफ्यूजन विच इज गोइंग टू एंटर। So now slowly the theme is moving towards the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The Arjuna's confusions are going to come again. So this is a 70th shloka that example of ocean is given. So how we can experience ocean like steadiness when we are full, full in ourselves. So we should have sufficient amount of Krishna conscious engagements. We should have sufficient amount of Krishna conscious engagements that give us pleasure and happiness and that gives us fulfillment. So when we are ourselves very fulfilled, we are not too much disturbed by some setbacks in the life here, there. Okay, no much difference. Like I remember recently one devotee's father left, and generally when parents leave or somebody near and dear one leaves, naturally we feel very pained, and it's natural. There is nothing wrong there. All- But this devotee means he was also feeling attachment to parents, everything. But next 2 days onwards, again he was super busy in Krishna consciousness. He was having so many services here, there. बोला प्रभु एकदम खतरनाक 2-3 दिन में सब फंक्शन करके आए फटाक करके. एंड अगेन तो लेकिन मटेरियलिस्टिक व्यक्ति होता है तो कितने सारे लोग हैंडीकैप बन जाते हैं. हैंडीकैप मतलब वो साल साल तक विचार नहीं कर पाते, मेरा चला गया, मेरा रिलेटिव चला गया, मेरा वो चला गया. एक एक साल तक भूल नहीं पाते. डिवोटी भूलता नहीं, उसको भी बुरा लगता है, लेकिन इसे क्या कर सकते हैं हम. सो नॉलेज इज देयर एंड फुलफिलमेंट इज देयर. सो नॉलेज एंड फुलफिलमेंट. So similarly, sometimes materialistic desires, they will keep on coming and they will keep on troubling sadhaka again and again. But a devotee knows ultimately it is material only. Even if material desires are troubling us, ultimately it is material only, na? It cannot affect spiritual life. It cannot affect. So material desires are coming. It can distract me. It can do this. ठीक है. Let me again focus on Krishna consciousness. So that is the way a devotee remains steady. So now, and this is the last two shlokas, Prabhu, of this chapter. We'll quickly complete. Then we'll take some questions, if any, and otherwise we'll jump to third chapter. Vihaya kamanya sarvan pumamscharati nispriha nirmamo nirahankara sa shantim adigachati. Nirmama. Nirmama means this word is coming again and again. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha. Nirman and nirmama. So this is it. Nispriha. Please, okay. Read the translation.
A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. Purport: to become desireless means not to desire anything for sense gratification. In other words, desire for becoming Krishna consciousness is actually desirelessness. To understand one's actual position as the eternal servitor of Krishna without falsely claiming this material body to be oneself and without falsely claiming proprietorship over anything in the world is the perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. One who is situated in this perfect stage knows that because Krishna is the proprietor of everything, everything must be used the for the satisfaction of Krishna. Arjuna did not want to fight for his own sense satisfaction, but when he became fully Krishna conscious, he fought because Krishna wanted him to fight. For himself, there was no desire to fight, but for the Krishna, the same Arjuna fought to his best ability. Real desirelessness is desire for the satisfaction of Krishna, not an artificial attempt to abolish desires. The living entity cannot be desireless or senseless, but he does have to change the quality of the desires. A materially desireless person certainly knows that everything belongs to Krishna. Isavasyam idam sarvam Vishwamantra 1. And therefore he does not falsely claim proprietorship over anything. This transcendental knowledge is based on self realization, namely, knowing perfectly well that every living entity is an eternal part and parcel of Krishna in spiritual identity, and that the eternal position of the living entity is therefore never on the level of Krishna or greater than. This understanding of Krishna consciousness is a basic principle of real peace.
There is a real peace and there is false peace. Now, okay, just open floor for discussion for all devotees. Uh, Devotees don't look for peace, na? All of you generally, are we after peace? Like I remember once upon a time one devotee was telling, बहुत devotees के बीच में quarrel हो रहा था. तो एक devotee बोले, प्रभु शांति 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 रखिए शांति. फिर एक डिवोटी बोला, प्रेम 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 प्रेम. शांति नहीं चाहिए. एक डिवोटिस को शांति बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं है, प्रेम चाहिए डिवोटिस को, प्रेम. सो डिवोटिस प्रेम के लिए भागते हैं, शांति के लिए नहीं भागते. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? शांति शांति के बारे में भगवान इतना क्यों बता रहे हमें? ओके, क्या हमारे जीवन में हमको शांति चाहिए या नहीं चाहिए, बताइए. व्हाट डू यू फील कि डू वी नीड शांति और डू वी फील हमें प्रेम चाहिए? ओके, यू कैन राइट एक्सप्रेस दैट. भगवान इतना शांति के बारे में बता रहे हैं. डू यू थिंक दैट वी फील समटाइम्स नीड फॉर शांति? ओके, सपने प्रो कह रहे हैं बहुत चाहिए, शांति भी चाहिए और प्रेम भी चाहिए. ओके, और कुछ? बार बार क्यों बोलते हैं भगवान रियल पीस? यस रवि प्रो.
Like peace is the kind of stepping stone to uh, like prem, which we are talking about. Like if somebody is not peaceful, then he'll like basically that stage of love will not be awakened.
Kaushik Pro is telling peace is subset of love. Really? If you see, do you feel Yashoda Mai in ever peace? Do you find Rajvasis ever in peace? Do you find anyone Radha Rani and Gopis ever in peace? तो ये तो पीस ही नहीं है बाबा उनके जीवन में, जब से भक्ति करना चालू किया है. आपको क्या लगता है, आपके जीवन में पीस आया है क्या भक्ति करने के बाद? हाँ, संडे भी छोड़ते नहीं है. पहले सैटरडे संडे तो थोड़ा शांति रहता था, सो पाते थे अच्छे से. जब से भक्ति में आए हैं तब से तो आई थिंक सैटरडे संडे सबसे ज़्यादा. कितने लोगों को लगता है सैटरडे संडे ज़्यादा टाइट होता है आपका? सैटरडे संडे इज मोर बिजियर देन वीक डेज, राइट ना? डिवोटीज को लगता है वीक डेज से ज़्यादा सैटरडे संडे खतरनाक रहता है, एकदम इतना टाइट रहता है, कंपनी में भी इतना काम नहीं रहता है. So you see, they are materially peaceful, spiritually in anxiety. Yeah, first of all, they don't have anything material. There is nothing material for Yashoda Mata. That's why they are peaceful. There is no worry. So this peace, what is being talked about is, as all of you mentioned. Yes, Naresh Prabhu, you raised hand. Okay. So this peace, what is being talked about here, is that only desirelessness. Because if somebody has too many materialistic desires, he will not be selfless. If he is not selfless, he cannot love. He cannot love Lord. So devotees also need this peace, means devotees need peace from the materialistic desires so that they can cultivate spiritual desires. So that is the reason here it is mentioned peace. So when come one come, this all are the symptoms of people on the stages of nishtha. Sita pragya, na? Sita pragya. At least nishtha level is required to attain all these things. Till the time we don't attain निष्ठा, our bhakti is not going to be smooth sailing. बार बार रास्ते खटारा रास्ता की तरह, मतलब बीच बीच में गड्ढे आएंगे, बीच में प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगे, बम्स आएंगे, झटके लगेंगे. निष्ठा प्लेटफॉर्म मीन्स दिस आर ऑल द सिम्टम्स ऑफ अ निष्ठा प्लेटफॉर्म. नैष्ठिक डिवोटी, ही रिमेन स्टेडी नो मैटर. कभी झटके लगेंगे, कभी सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन डिजायर भी करेगा. ओके, ही विल अगेन गेट बैक, ही विल अगेन गेट अप, अगेन वॉक. सो दैट इज द प्लेटफॉर्म ऑफ निष्ठा. So this is the last shloka of this chapter 2.72. Here first time Krishna is telling what is the result a person will attain if here Srila Prabhupada in the 72nd purport, 71 purport, Prabhupada is telling that real desireness is desire for satisfaction of Krishna, not artificial attempt to abolish these desires. So if you see, there are many. Like I had once gone near Swargate. There is one very big one center is there. Vipassana meditation center. Vipassana. You might have heard this word. Vipassana meditation centers and Nirvana meditation centers and all. So there they tell you have to meditate on nothing. You have to meditate on nothing. Now something surprising, na? How to meditate on nothing? Means they say no, you have to meditate on nothing. That is the power that is actually called as meditation. And if you do this, you will become God one day. This is the philosophy. The easiest way to become God is just do nothing. Then you will become God. Peaceful, become peaceful. So on the first day when you go there, they will give you salads only to eat. Second day you go, they will only give you juices to drink. Third day, once juice, only very once in a day only juice. Fourth day you go, then naturally you become very peaceful because all bodies become so peaceful. Person feels very cool and like sabto gun feel hota hai. And then you feel silence of the mind. And when you meditate on the silence of the mind, you become like a god. So that is a vipassana also many times. So people feel very happy when materialistic desires stop. So that is their goal only. But they want to become desireless. But devotee is not like this. Devotees don't want to become desireless. So and real desirelessness is desire to be for satisfaction of Krishna. That is real desirelessness. Okay, so this is a last shloka for this chapter, 72nd. What is the outcome when somebody is like on the Sthita Pragya platform and he remembers Krishna? एषा ब्राह्म्यसिते पार्थ नैनां प्राप्य विमुह्यति स्थित्वास्यम् अन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छति.
Yes, that is the way of the spiritual and godly life. After attaining which a man is not bewildered, if one is thus situated even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. Why is this?
Yeah, this is the way of spiritual and godly life. So we should come to the platform of Nishtha. And if this platform we come, then we'll not get bewildered by some so small setbacks in the life. And if somebody remains on this platform steadily, then at the hour of death, then he can enter into the kingdom of God.
One can attain Krishna consciousness or divine life at once, within a second, or one may not attain such a state of life even after millions of births. It is only a matter of understanding and accepting the fact. Ratwanga Maharaj attained this state of life just a few minutes before his death by surrendering unto Krishna. Nirvana means ending the process of materialistic life. According to Buddhist philosophy, there is only void after the completion of this material life. But Bhagavad Gita teaches differently. Actual life begins after the completion of this material life. For the gross materialist, it is sufficient to know that one has to end his materialistic way of life. But for person who are spiritually advanced, there is another life after this materialistic life. Before ending this life, if one fortunately becomes Krishna conscious, he at once attains the stage of Brahma Nirvana. There is no difference between kingdom of God and the devotional service of the Lord, since both of them are on the absolute plane. To be engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord is to have attained the spiritual kingdom. In the material world, there are activities of sense gratification, whereas in the spiritual world, there are activities of Krishna consciousness. Attainment of Krishna consciousness, even during this life, is immediate attainment of Brahman. And one who is situated in Krishna consciousness has certainly already entered into the kingdom of God. Brahman is just the opposite of matter. Therefore, Brahma Sthiti means not on the platform of material activities. Devotional service of the Lord is accepted in the Bhagavad Gita as liberated speech. Brahma Bhuya Kalpati. Therefore, Brahma Sthiti is a liberation from the material bondage. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur has summarized this second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita as being the content for the whole text. In the Bhagavad Gita, the subject matter are Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. In the second chapter, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga have been clearly discussed, and the glimpse of Bhakti Yoga has also been given as the contents for the complete text.
Yeah, so basically that's why this chapter is called as Contents of Gita Summarized. A glimpse is given, a preview is given. Now, amazing thing is, Krishna is telling that Brahma Nirvana Mrichati. That such a person, here till now, somebody remains steady, somebody is not disturbed, somebody is on a very platform, then he gets Brahma Nirvana, a spiritual kingdom of God. So now Brahman is also spiritual kingdom. Brahman is also the aspect of Lord. which Mayavadis or impersonalists look after. And it is also to get even Brahman, such a high qualificative life is required, right? No? High qualification of so much steadiness, control, mind control, sense control. This is required. Now, why Brahman? So it is said there are different, like we know this, there are two genders. There is male and female. In English, if you see, there are only two genders, right? Male and female. But in Hindi, Marathi, and Sanskrit, there are one more gender. That is Purling, Striling, and Napusank. नहीं क्या Napusank ना क्या this neuter gender that is there in Marathi, Hindi, and our so the Jiva Goswami he mentions like all those who are like expansions of Krishna or Radharani, like Purling is there. That is, so they say this is Vishnu Linga, and then there is called as Lakshmi Linga. Females are generally he classifies two gender like genders like that. Vishnu Linga, all males he will call as Vishnu Linga. That he okay they are the linga of Vishnu. Then and then female he will call Lakshmi Linga, and then there are neuter also. So he will say Brahman Linga. Brahman Linga means neuter. So neuter Brahman Linga means that is a neuter. So there is no form, no variety, nothing there. There is no particular linga gender there. So here it is said Brahma Nirvanam Richati. Brahma Nirvanam Richati is like it's a Brahman is opposite of matter. Something which is anti-matter is called as Brahman. So Prabhupada यहाँ पे कह रहे हैं कि for a materialistic person, they just want to stop the materialistic way, means max to max, somebody who's on spiritual path or somebody is gnani, they just want to end this materialistic way of life. But those who are devotees, they know there is another life that begins after giving up materialistic desires. सो हमारे जीवन का गोल सेंस कंट्रोल बनना नहीं है. हमारे जीवन का गोल केवल एकदम पक्का सेंस कंट्रोल पर्सन, नो मटेरियलिस्टिक डिजायर्स, ये नहीं है. हमारे जीवन का जो गोल है वो स्पिरिचुअल डिजायर्स कल्टीवेट करना है. सो प्रभुपाद लिखते हैं बिफोर एंडिंग दिस लाइफ इफ समवन बिकम्स कृष्ण कॉन्शियस he automatically attains the stage of Brahma Nirvana. So Brahma Nirvana के बारे में बताया है. And for a devotee, even coming to bhakti itself is attainment of Brahman. So the devotees don't have to worry about going to Brahman and all. In this life only, devotee attains Brahman platform because he has already started executing activities which are done after Brahman platform. So like somebody who has started studies after PhD studies, suppose post PhD हो रहा है, तो कोई ऑलरेडी पोस्ट PhD कर रहा है, क्या बोलने का फिर उसको, हो गया उसका PhD. जनरली PhD के बाद पोस्ट PhD होता है. लेकिन प्रभुपाद कहते हैं कि directly that devotees are doing activities which are post PhD activities, that is post PhD. So then he's already post PhD only. So Krishna consciousness is even above Brahman platform. So sometimes I used to get doubt about this. ब्रो कभी कभी मायावादी लोग हमसे ज्यादा अच्छे दिखते हैं, सेंस कंट्रोल. हम तो बोलने के लिए भक्त है, तिलक लगाए माला किए, लेकिन हम तो अभी भी हमारे सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन इतना माया लात खिलाता है. तो ओके, नाउ दिस इज एन ओपन क्वेश्चन फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. Who is better? A devotee who is struggling with senses, mind, and is not even able to control the prasadam आता है तो सब भूल जाता है philosophy, and he still gets kicks of Maya, or a person who is on a Mayavadi or impersonalist and is a very very goodness वाला person, उसको तमोगुण रजोगुण अप्रभाव नहीं होता है. So who is higher? Okay, where
Devotee.
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 स्ट्रगलिंग डिवोटी वाई सो प्रभु? हम तो सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन में फंसे हैं ना. हमको तो नेक्स्ट बर्थ ह्यूमन एनिमल बॉडी भी मिल सकता है. क्योंकि हम सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन में फंसे हैं, पाप कर रहे हैं, अभी भी सिंफुल एक्टिविटी छूटा नहीं है. उसका तो पूरा सिन छूट गया है, सारे पाप छूट गए इम्पर्सनलिस्ट व्यक्ति के. सो वाई इज हायर? वाई वी आर हायर?
He will get out of the bondage of this material world truly, because this Brahman will they will go and they will stay for some time, again they will come back. But even once a devotee does some spiritual activity, it will be in permanent account. So he will be
Because he is obeying the laws of Lord, the order of God, and Mayavadis are acting against because he's saying that he is only God. So he's Krishna Pradi. The devotee is trying to follow the orders of Lord.
डोंट यू फील जो व्यक्ति इतना रिनाउंसिएशन कर रहा है कितना कठोर पाथ लिया है ना उसने, कितना कठोर पाथ। खाएगा नहीं, पिएगा नहीं, उसको इतना बेसिक फिलोसफी समझ में नहीं आता। तो भगवान मतलब दिस इज समथिंग टू बी आस्क, इतना बड़ा मेहनत मतलब आईआईटी के लिए प्रिपेयर करके अनप्लेस्ड होना, दिस इज टेक टू मच। आईआईटी के लिए पूरा जीवन दे दिया उसने, हमसे 1000 गुना ज्यादा तपस्या की है। हमसे तो भक्ति, वाई भक्ति? ओके मुझे ये बताओ, भक्ति योग इजी है या ज्ञान योग इजी है?
भक्ति
भक्ति
योग।
फिर ज्ञानी जो है वो भक्ति योग में क्यों नहीं आ पाते?
Maybe they might have got first Nyan. That's why.
Ah,
Prabhuji, they have
something
a conception that
something very
it is too
important.
easy.
What,
Yes.
Prabhu?
Because sometimes they think it is too easy. How can it give liberation? It is
अरे
so
पर
easy.
इजी है, लेकिन उनको भी पता है कि इतना मेहनत करने के बाद, आईआईटी की पढ़ाई करने के बाद में गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज, एकदम देसी कॉलेज भी नहीं मिलने वाला है। क्लियरली है, फेल होने, बैकलॉग लगने वाले, वाईडी लगने वाले हैं। पर आईआईटी का मेहनत किया है उन्होंने। और हम लोगों ने तो लोकल कॉलेज का मेहनत किया है, मेहनत बहुत आसान किया है, लेकिन हमको आईआईटी के ऊपर का डिग्री मिलने वाला है। दिस इज समथिंग सरप्राइजिंग। हम्म, okay, causeless mercy. So one devotee Sanket Prabhu said, na, this is bhakti. What is difficult in bhakti yoga? Why bhakti yoga is difficult than all other yogas? Is this because of dependence? Bhakti yoga is a path of dependence. We depend on Guru. We depend on Vaishnavas. You have to become subordinate to someone. This is the very, very tough path. That is the why it is tough. Everyone wants independence. Independence. That is the reason we are in spiritual world. That is the reason we have become come to material world. Na? In this desire to become independent. That is the reason we have come to material world. And in spiritual life says you have to don't become independent. Become dependent on Guru and Vaishnava. Live the life according to their direction. And this is the what thing which makes Bhakti Yoga the difficult than other paths. But people can do no matter, they can go to Himalayas, people can go to anything, but they want to do their independent thing. And here we will tell him, no, Prabhu, don't go to Himalaya, just clean the toilet bathroom and you will get back to Godhead. Oh, this is very difficult to follow. They can go to Himalaya and they can live underwater also. But no, clean bathroom, Prasadam sir, this is very tough. But because you have to obey na, obedience is very difficult. So that's why bhakti yoga becomes difficult because of this path, obedience. But those who can obey, for them it is very, very easy path. So coming to thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the second chapter of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, in the matter of contents of Gita summarized. So this is a destination of Sthita Pragya, which is being mentioned in the 72nd shloka. So we have successfully completed second chapter. Now I'm just giving in 5 minutes. I will give the overview of third chapter, and last 10 minutes we'll keep for questions today, because many times we're not able to give time for questions. So in case you have, you can note down, or you can keep it ready. So this is the third chapter, which we are going to write. And what is an acronym for that third chapter?
Three.
Three. Okay, let's just quickly read about what all content, and just a brief overview of what all things are going to come in third chapter. Anyone has that acronym wala thing what I shared before? Anyone has on handy on laptop? One that PDF I had shared, na?
Yes, Prabhu. Shall
Okay.
I share, Prabhuji?
Okay, I'm sharing. I got it. Okay, please someone can read, Prabhu. This is a third chapter ka acronym, so that what all things you can expect. The acronym makes it a little simpler to understand, right? Na? What all things are going to come. So the acronym for third chapter is TREE. So only 4 subject matters discussed in third chapter. तो कितना आसान हो गया है, 4 टॉपिक्स पे डिस्कशन होने वाला है। ओके, गीता, GIT है गीता, क्या था, कौन बताएगा? जिसने आंसर नहीं दिया वो बताएंगे। गीता GIT है, फटाफट बताइए। GIT है क्या था? G फॉर? ओके,
G for Guru.
G फॉर गुरु, I फॉर?
Identity.
Identity.
T for
Two duties.
two duties. A for
Atmaram.
Atmaram. So now tree. Let's go for tree. Okay, Prabhu, someone can read. I don't know if it is a big enough. Karma yoga matlab tree. So you can remember this. See this photo, tree. So remember this tree. Yes, Prabhu, please read.
A tree produces many fruits, but selflessly offers them to others. All years around, a tree difficultly was shade and shelter, regardless of mistreatment by man and or animal. Even when a tree is cut, it grows back with determination and strength, ready to serve the world again. The life and qualities of a tree gives us profound insights into the art of living in this world while simultaneously remaining completely aloof. Chapter 3 defines the practice of Karma Yoga, the technique of achieving spiritual connection with God through our daily work. Describing the life of a true Karma Yogi, the Bible also affirms be in the world but not of it.
Bible says, be in this world, but don't become a part of this world. Don't be of this world. So be in this world, but not of it. So he said, how somebody can develop spiritual connection with God through our daily work, because we have to work daily so many hours, go to company, go for job, do many other things. How we can connect with God through our daily work? This is third chapter. So 4 points being discussed. Yes, bro. T for Tyaga. So first point is T for Tyaga, renunciation. R for different, again yoga ladder explained. Yoga ladder. Ladder means step by step, step by step. What is the yoga? E. E for being exemplary. And fourth E is about enemy of the soul. So in short, if you see, as I mentioned, Arjuna is getting confused again because you spoke about Karma Kand, you spoke about Nishkam Karma Yoga, you spoke about Jnana Yoga. So what if Krishna, if I am not, which one is better? Karma Yoga is better or Jnana Yoga is better? He's going to again ask. You told so many things. Which one is better? Then Krishna will tell that no, for Arjuna, for you, Karma Yoga is better. But then Arjuna may think, what if I am not qualified for Karma Yoga? Because in Karma Yoga, you are telling me to kill, and I don't want to kill. I'm feeling it is more difficult for me killing. So then Krishna will say, okay, then do the Karma Kand. Don't worry. Don't go to Jnana Yoga. Krishna is telling again, don't go to Jnana Yoga. Although he only explained Jnana Yoga, he said, for you, it is better to be doing Karma Yoga. So, but he said, Arjuna feels, what if I'm not qualified for Karma Yoga? Then he says, do Karma Kand. No problem, do Karma Kand. But then Arjuna says, no, I don't want to do Karma Kand. Actually, I feel I'm more qualified for Jnana Yoga. I'm feeling more qualified for Jnana Yoga. Still, Arjuna is telling, okay, I understand you are qualified for Jnana Yoga, but because you are a Kshatriya, be exemplary. So, E, be exemplary, because people will follow you. People will not be able to understand, people will follow you. You are a Kshatriya, so you be exemplary. Set an example by fighting. So then Krishna says, then Arjuna is going to ask, although Krishna, I understood so much things. I understood what is correct, what is wrong. But still, my mind, means, uh, there are, I have desire for selfish enjoyment. I have desire to not obey you and do something opposite to you. What is that? So he said, that is the enemy of the soul. So, okay, any guess what is the enemy of the soul?
Mind.
Nitya Nitya Vairinam. Which one? Eternal enemy.
Lust.
Lust. So in this third chapter of Gita, there is a lot of discussion about lust also, how to deal with this lust, and there is a discussion about. So in short, did you understand? So first, Arjuna is getting confusion that which one is better. So that is about tyaga, renunciation. So he wants to renounce. He doesn't want to fight. Then Krishna will explain him rungs of yoga ladder. Okay, what is higher, Nishkam, different step by step. Which yoga is the good yoga, best yoga? Then Arjuna will say, I am qualified for higher yoga. I am qualified for Jnana yoga, not for Karma yoga. So I am on the higher level. But Arjuna Krishna will say, don't worry. Still you do as an example. Yadyadacharati shreshta, tatta devetaro jana. And he said, but even I understood all your instructions, still I want to act in an independent manner. What is the reason? So he said, that is the enemy of the soul. So this quickly tells us about the third chapter. Okay. Please read, Prabhu. Prabhu, continue.
Yeah, the renunciation, verse 1 to 9. At first, Arjuna displays the typical confusion of an immature spiritualist. He thinks spirituality means retirement from active life and absorption of asceticism, asceticism in strict seclusion. Often, the easiest response in times of difficulty is one of escapism. Worldly life entails awkward dealings with money, possessions, people, and career, to name but a few. How can such a lifestyle be compatible with spiritual goals? Krishna explains the true renunciation does not entail a mere abandonment of worldly duties. True renunciation is to give up the mentality that one is the controller and enjoyer of all his deeds. Thus, by offering the results of one's daily work, money, knowledge, influence, etc., to God, knowing God to be the ultimate enjoyer and controller, one achieves the real state of renunciation.
Yeah. So T for Tyaga. So now sometimes in our daily life also we feel when we try to do some seva or we try to do some work and we are not able to do, an authority comes and chastises us. Like once upon a time, our Harishwari Prabhu, he was a temple commander in Vrindavan temple, and he was doing the seva of cleaning, and he was little very strict, and he was very strict. And one day he did some seva, and Prabhupada became little unhappy. Arey, why you are so strict? You don't be little sensitive to the people. Like you know that Radhesham tells this story many times, no? That Harishwari Prabhu was the commander of the temple, of Vrindavan temple, and a couple came there, and they wanted to take prasadam, but the temple already got closed. So Harishwari Prabhu took a water pipe and was putting everywhere water to clean the temple. But these people were feeling, अरे क्या करें हम अभी just बैठे हैं प्रसाद लेने के लिए. He said, hey, get up, all fellows, get up. The temple is closed. Don't you see the time? Quickly go out and eat. Now they are feeling little offended. अरे भाई अभी तो बैठा हूँ 5 मिनट पहले. So Prabhupada observed this from top, and Prabhupada said, अरे don't you know that you have to be sensitive? They are visitors, they are guests of Krishna. We can 5 मिनट इधर का उधर हो गया अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So then very sure proof felt, hey, I am not doing thing properly. Okay, you appoint another in charge. I cannot do this properly. I am not the right person to do. I don't do seva properly. Okay, you only do. Like sometimes internal manager के प्रति भी कंप्लेन आता है, या एडिट इंचार्ज के प्रति कंप्लेन आता है. वो बोलता है प्रभु ऐसा मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है प्रभु आप दूसरा ढूंढ लो, मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ अच्छे से. तो त्यागा हमको लगता है कि रिनंसिएशन. सो दिस इज द इजिएस्ट थिंग टू गिव अप अ सेवा इज द इजिएस्ट थिंग व्हिच वन कैन डू. But no, that is not the right always, that we give up the, we rectify or we reform. But because this give up mentality comes because we think that we are controller and we are enjoyer. हमारा हम कंट्रोल नहीं कर पा रहे, हम एंजॉय नहीं कर पा रहे. ओके प्रभु आई क्विट, आई कैन नॉट डू दिस थिंग्स. बट दिस इज नॉट द रियल स्टेट ऑफ रिनाउंसिएशन. सो त्यागा, अर्जुना भी बोल रहे हैं ओके आई गिव अप, आई डोंट वांट टू डू दिस. सो ही इज टेलिंग डोंट गिव अप. ओके, आर someone can read.
Rungs on the yoga ladder, verse 10 to 16. To work without any selfish motivation whatsoever is undoubtedly an advanced stage of spiritual realization. Thus, Krishna explains how to progress to such a level. He describes a yoga ladder with different rungs which represent progressively higher levels of understanding. On the lowest level, an individual is solely interested in materialistic enjoyment and has no spiritual inclination. One stage higher is karma kand, where one still desires materialistic enjoyment but now tries to achieve it via religious observation. When one realizes the futility of material enjoyment, they progress to sakam karma yoga, where one begins to offer a portion of his results to God, but still maintains some selfish motivation. At the next stage of Nishkam Karma Yoga, one who accepts whatever necessities he requires to maintain himself and offer everything else to God. Those who progress to those who progress to this level of spirituality break free from all karmic implication and peaceful and liberated.
Yeah.
Implication and become peaceful and liberated.
So, okay, we'll pause here. So this is T and R. So till now, what is going to come in the next 16 shlokas and that we have discussed about Tyaga and about Yoga ladder. So this is going to come in the third chapter, which we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, so we'll pause here. So this is entrance into third chapter now. Hmm? Tree. Hare Krishna. Any one question is there? 1 minute is there? Otherwise, we'll pause for today. Yes, Proji.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, as you mentioned, like devotee, they don't accept something which is not offered to the Lord. So, something which is not offered, so devotee means they can offer at any time, right? So, in that sense, they can accept or not.
Yeah, devotee can offer, but in general, there are many other criteria also. Who has cooked it and from where it is prepared. So generally, the best quality of prasadam is something which is cooked by devotee, offered by devotee, and served by devotee. This is the best quality of prasadam. But depending on time, place, circumstance, if facilities don't support, at least we can take something which is offered to Lord, or we can offer. So,
Mhm.
based on that,
Okay. Mhm.
generally the food which is not cooked by devotees, it's generally unofferable. But in some circumstances, no option is there. At least we can offer it. Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
Kaushik bro.
Prabhuji, I've asked in the chat that we say I heard from Radhesham Prabhuji that Kanishta from going from Kanishta to Madhyama is in the hands of a devotee, but from Madhyama to Uttama is purely the mercy of the Lord. Similarly, from from Namaprak to Namabhas is in the hand of devotee, and from Namabhas to Shuddhanam is the mercy of Lord. So similarly, Prabhuji, this Sthita Pragya said he is a Nishtha devotee. So going to Sthita Pragya state, is it in the hands of ours or is purely mercy?
The the gross steadiness is in our hand. The gross steadiness is mainly about regulation of our life, cultivating more and more of goodness and all. That is in progress.
But I am asking Prabhu about steadiness in consciousness.
Actually, in one way, for a devotee, everything is Krishna's mercy only, Prabhu. Means we are not by our own endeavor. For us, to even to get up early in the morning, we are dependent for everything, small thing, we are dependent on Lord only. But yeah, there are certain things, consciousness, that is actually maintaining consciousness is also in our hand. If we stick to staying in association of devotees, then we can maintain the consciousness. This is the thing which we are doing. What is in our hand is that accepting the Krishna conscious process. I would never want to be away from the devotees. I never want to be in such a situation which will make my which will I will lose consciousness by that. So this is in our hand. And then Krishna assures that I will protect consciousness of such devotees. Neha Vikraman Ashosti. So he says if somebody is engaged in bhakti like this, he generally assures that will not lose their consciousness. So we remain steady in the consciousness. So, in one simple manner, stick on to Sangha of devotees lifelong. There is not out रहो, कम से कम not out रहो. Although perfection नहीं आएगा, कम से कम not out रहो भक्ति में. Not out भी रहा कोई व्यक्ति, at least कुछ तो higher destination guaranteed है. Higher destination is guaranteed in the association of. The only thing, एक beautiful purport है, Prabhupada लिखते हैं, the main reason why a sadhaka may fall down, there is only one reason for sadhaka to fall down. And Prabhupada writes there, that is uncongenial association. He says, Prabhupada एक beautiful दिखाऊंगा मैं आपको purport, खतरनाक purport है वो. Prabhupada लिखता है uncongenial association. This is the only reason why which Krishna conscious person may fall down. And this is the number one reason for all people living Krishna consciousness. That is uncongenial association. Uncongenial means improper association a person has taken, either in the form of Vani, Vapu, or in the form of thought process, thinking. This is improper association. And all other things start from this only. Aparada start from this, everything start from this. So if we stick on to association of devotees and we take them properly only, there are very less chances that consciousness may get uh, distracted.
Prabhuji, just one thing. We says that Prabhuji, when mind will become the friend, it will stop means it will be favorable to us. But we can see even in the example of Yamunacharya, he said that when he get the desire of sex enjoyment, he spit at the thought. But Prabhuji, at that stage also the mind is not a friend because it is giving such desire. So how can we understand this? So will mind ever become a friend, or as Prabhupada said in today's purport, that as long
Mind
as
is
the body
supporting,
is
na Prabhu.
desire for
The desires are coming. Mind is supporting him to give desire to spit also. मतलब स्पिट एटलीस्ट इंटेलिजेंस का
okay.
सुन रहा है वो, स्पिट कर रहा है ना, इंटेलिजेंस का सुन रहा है वो कम से कम,
Yes.
स्पिट कर रहा है अच्छे से। तो रिस्पॉन्स बदल गया है। तो अभी वो उनका उनका मन सी मन में तो आएगा, मन को तो मन तो छोटा बच्चा है, छोटा बच्चा है, मन छोटा बच्चा है, मन उसको आप चॉकलेट दिखाओ तो उसको अट्रैक्ट होने वाला है। लेकिन अभी वो उसने माता पिता को ओबीडियंट बन गया है तो वही बच्चा बोलेगा थू, मतलब बच्चा ही बोलने वाला है तू, क्योंकि उसने इंटेलिजेंस की सुनना, वो ओबीडियंट चाइल्ड बन गया है, वो माता पिता ने नहीं बोला। लाइक आई रिमेम्बर बचपन में जब वो छोटा बच्चा मुझे कोई भी अगर कोई देखता था, कुछ कोई चॉकलेट दिया, खाना दिया, कुछ भी दिया, इच्छा हुई भी पहले मम्मी को देखते हैं हम, मम्मी ने बोला नहीं नहीं चाहिए, खत्म। तो दैट्स व्हाई माइंड हैज बिकम फ्रेंड, माइंड हैज बिकम फ्रेंड एंड नॉट अ फ्रेंड मींस व्हाट, इट डजंट लिसन टू मदर ओनली, इट डजंट लिसन टू इंटेलिजेंस ओनली, बट नाउ माइंड हैज बिकम फ्रेंड एंड माइंड इज एबल टू गिव रिस्पॉन्स ऑफ टू। that is the response of mind, so it has become friend. Not that ki friend means never, desires will never come, desires are unlimited, desires will come, but what is the response, that is a dhira. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So we'll pause here. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhu bhavatsya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnavind ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.